All right, I think we're ready to go, guys. Welcome to the podcast. It's our second of the century. It is the second edition. Second installment as well. It's also the second episode. We like to report on our the positive reaction unanimously to the previous podcast.
Listener?
Yeah, about 1 million downloads. No, not dozens. Millions of downloads around the world.
With millions of listener.
And and at least 100,000 subscribers. Currently, we have 3 members participating in this podcast. 2 of them are eating chips.
They're so good.
If you hear, that's the dog is not part of the podcast. Okay. Luna is sitting nearby, and she wants some chips. But we're ignoring her. All right. So today, what are we going to talk about, guys?
I think we're going to talk about how we were talking about earlier how summer feels like. What's that word?
Purgatory?
Purgatory. Summer feels like purgatory in the sense that, like, you've died in the sense that your past is already past. Like, whatever you did in the past is over. And, like, it's like a 3-month, like, if you're in college or high school, it's a 3-month-long period where you're not really doing much. Like, you could be working, you could be doing something. But it's not, like, that's not who you are. What you're doing in summer is not who you are unless, like, you're an adult.
You have to find stuff to do. Like, you have to actually go out there and find stuff.
Exactly. And so, you never know whether, like, your next year is going to be good or bad. And it's, like, so heaven or hell.
Yeah. I'm going to not talk a whole lot this podcast because I don't really have anything left to say, really. Like, I kind of got it all out in the first podcast. So, I mean, we can talk a little about... this has been debated whether it's covered in the first podcast, but nobody actually wants to go back through the 54 minutes and check. But I do have this thing where at the end of a school year, I would always feel bittersweet, and I'd look around at other people who seemed pretty happy, and I was wondering like why I wasn't feeling super happy. And so I thought about it for a while. Because it bothered me because I wanted to be happy about the school year ending because it seemed like I should be. And I came to this conclusion after this last semester that the issue is I usually don't reach my full potential during the school year because I don't study hard enough or whatever. And then the end of the school year is like a clear indicator or a clear mark of time passing without me having reached my potential. And that is just kind of a little disappointing. And thus, the bittersweet, the sweet, you're not stressed, you have a little less to do. But the bitter being that you didn't reach your potential. And now Evan's going to try some 5-year-old. How's it? It's okay. It is okay. No, it is not okay. The verdict is in. It is not okay. It is the opposite okay. All right, we will gain back our third member of the podcast very shortly.
Oh, my mouth is on fire.
His mouth is currently on fire. He'll be back shortly. Okay, well, Evan's back. His mouth is
recovering.
No longer in flames.
We're working on it.
All right, what we're going to do here to kind of get us into a little conversation, we're gonna toss out a few ridiculous kind of hypotheticals. And the first one is, what is the animal of the largest weight that you could beat up? Stop it, Luna.
The largest weight that we could beat up physically.
Correct.
Animal.
Yeah.
I could probably beat up this dog if it keeps trying to lick me. Depending on how like pissy it makes me.
I know
I'm not going to because that's awful. But I mean, Luna, I could beat you up.
I would for sure beat up Luna. Like, it would be the easiest thing ever. To be clear, if Joel is subscribed to this podcast, which chances are he is, and he's probably listening to it at work right now, because we do have the live version of this. To be clear, Joel, we are calling every dog by your dog's name, just because we can't remember any dogs' names. It's a lot easier. So when we say Luna, we are not referring to your dog. We're referring to this other dog who's not Luna, but, you know.
We're calling it Luna because we remember Luna.
Yeah, exactly. Luna has a nice little spot on our hearts. So shout out to Joel.
It's like the brainchild of Luna.
Not really, but nice work.
It did stick.
Yeah. No, yes and. So large animal you could beat up. What's your largest animal on?
You know, you have to come back to me, but at the moment, I'd say one of the biggest sloth you can find.
Ooh, I like that.
Because they can't move at all, really, to speak of, and they're really slow, and so you could just kick it a few times.
I've heard that sloths aren't really that slow. So what would you do if you're like coming up against a sloth and you're like, shoot, I'm gonna get this sloth. This sloth has been trash and talking me on Facebook and Twitter and all these things so long. I'm gonna get this sloth,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he starts being fast.
Shade, and now we have a beef.
He's been throwing shade.
Yeah.
I don't get that. What is shade?
Oh, it's just like shots at people.
Oh, okay.
Subtle, more subtle than at legit shots at people.
But the sloth was not subtle. He was very straightforward.
It's
but
so like like if I like, hey, you know, I like your shoes, but in reality, I don't really like your shoes. That's throwing shade.
Yeah, you say, hey, I like your shoes, Noah.
You know, my approach would be I would try to do some jabs and stuff with the fists. Because I don't want...
No.
And I want to just steer clear of those long little talon-like things.
They do have
that
talons.
grip around the tree trunks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would be my first approach. And I feel like I'd have to go in, like knock them out within 5 minutes. Because I know they're slow, but their endurance must be pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't have that like high twitch, fast twitch muscle fiber type stuff. And
They're playing the long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not playing the long game.
No, they are. That's what I said. They are playing the long game, so you have to give them the short game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I like that. Now, what is that thing right there?
What thing are we pointing at?
The power heat press.
Oh, that's for making shirts.
Oh. Nice.
Nice.
So we have a shirt maker in here.
All right,
Please call in if you want us to make you a shirt. We will make it as soon as you call in. But right now it doesn't seem like anyone's calling in. So
yeah, exactly. So just send your design in. Just tweet us. Tweet us at the podcast. That is at the podcast, and we'll make you a shirt with whatever design you want.
at the podcast that we are doing.
At the podcast we are doing. Yes. So tweet at us, and then also tweet at our account, which is at the podcast.
And that's our name. That's our current name.
Right.
Okay. I can dig it.
The podcast. The podcast. People know. It's like the Ohio State University.
or the Iowa State University.
That's more like the college.
The college.
Compared to the podcast.
All right. Well, let's try to.
I see your point.
Thank you. I don't yet, but I'm sure I will at some point.
Okay.
All right.
Let's keep working on the animals.
Well, Evan was getting to a point earlier. He was going to ask, what if the sloth is actually fast?
Yeah, what if? What do you do? What do you do in that situation? You get to any situation in life, you think it's going to be easy. You think it's going to be slow. The person's going to be slow. This guy that I'm going up against, he's slow. He doesn't know what he's doing. All of a sudden, he knows what he's doing. He's fast. He's ready to go. What do you do?
To be clear, in this hypothetical, once you start it, you can't just say, oh, I want a new animal.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Sloth. Yeah, I don't want to fight you anymore.
You're actually fast, so new animal. Turn down the background jets real quick. So you have to engage the sloth. If he is fast, what do you do?
He's fast. Well, for starters, I have seen no evidence to prove that he is fast. But if this happens to be kind of like the Usain Bolt of sloths, then I'd say I would look around. Okay, for starters, I'd run away from just more to jog, so I can still keep looking around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd find,
Yeah, that's the thing. When I run full sprint, my head starts to wobble around my body.
Yeah,
I can't actually look around. That's the problem. So, smart move on the jog, 80%. Yeah, go ahead.
80%. Because I still feel like Noagala at 80% is faster than any sloth.
Okay.
And so
Usain Bolt sloth.
Yeah, except for the Usain. Yeah, agree to disagree.
and then but what I look around is, down south, wherever they are, there's a bunch of those big ant hills. There's just like
They're like,
fire
are you
ants.
sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. And so what I would do is I would just run 80% until I find an anthill, and then I run and I jump over the anthill. But crazy thing is, I can jump better than sloths can.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
They would-
where are we going with this?
they would trip on the anthill and then fall victim to the ants
To the tripping.
invading.
Not to nitpick, but why are we assuming we're in Latin America or down south?
Yeah, where do you just find an anthill? to
What if
trip
you're in a
over?
zoo? What if you're in a zoo and you fight
Oh,
this
that's a good
sloth?
point.
And this sloth has hopped on some wild, wacky zoo drugs.
Yeah, those.
You know, I would rush to, you know, at the back of zoos they have those little doors and stuff. I would run in there and
You do?
yeah, they do.
Okay.
Have you seen like any animal DVD? Because they do have them.
Okay.
And anyway, I would open the door, and you know, I would be pretty sure that a sloth could open a door like that because it's sort of human-like. And so I'd open the door. I'm 99% sure there's a mop in there. I'd flip it around, take off the mop, or just use a vacuum on the mop.
Okay.
And then he'll come in, and I now have a weapon.
From the mop.
Well, you can
Yeah.
beat up a mop.
And you could
can
also
beat up a
mop,
sloth.
too.
Yeah.
You could
And you could clean it
Oh,
up
I can
after.
mop, and then right before the sloth comes in, and then he'd slip all over.
Hey, mop.
Yeah.
Sloth.
Hey, sloth. I'm a mop.
Yeah, I love killing mobs with sloths. Alright, so we had enough sloth talk. My animal. What is my animal? I would realistically like to actually beat it up. It really is probably a rabbit.
Rabbit.
Huh?
Like.
Well, I don't
what kind
know,
of rabbit?
not the actual rabbit, but like an animal the size of a rabbit. Oh, someone brought up a turtle.
Okay, yeah.
But you couldn't actually beat the turtle up because it would just go in its shell. But like, if you got its head, like if you could grab its head before it put it back in its shell,
I could beat a baby turtle.
I think I could too.
I mean, it would beat me in the cuteness factor. I would feel really bad. I'd probably not want to live after that. But I could kick a baby turtle.
Oh, that's another question. If you beat up this animal, this large animal or small animal, and then what happens if you become kind of like a shell of yourself because because
Because the turtle.
Pardon the pun.
pardon the pun, because you felt so bad. Does it count as an actual W if you kind of lose control of your life after beating up this animal? That's my
I
question.
think in that sense the animal wins.
Even though it's dead.
Is it dead? I thought we were just beating him up.
Good point. Alright, even though it's beat up. Oh, well, I agree then. Yeah, if we're just beating up the animal and not killing it, then I suppose by default it has to win because you've ruined your life. Luna, would you knock it off?
I just feel like if an animal being dead and not doing anything can lead to your downfall or your life spiraling out of control, that's a dub for the animal.
Well, but the animal didn't set out trying to get beat up so you could lose your life.
I know, but inadvertently he did, and therefore I would say.
Okay.
I would say go for
Well,
it.
nice. The next question is: there's two little things. No, actually, that one we already talked about. All right. So, I had a pretty bad experience with peanut butter this weekend.
Peanut butter like a person, an animal, or like the actual peanut butter?
The third one, yeah, the actual peanut butter. I experienced the reduced fat version of creamy peanut butter, which is like the two worst things together. So my question, well, first of all, I have a statement: never eat reduced fat peanut butter. Really, anything, but reduced fat peanut butter is like the worst.
I believe you.
Because like what happens is people that eat reduced fat version of things because they think it's healthier, but really they just put a bunch of sugars and like fake ingredients in there
And salt.
and it's just as bad for you and it tastes way worse and it doesn't fill you up. Because if you ate like a whole fat version of something, it would fill you up so you wouldn't eat as much. Because like people compare whole fat stuff to non-whole fat stuff, but they compare equal amounts. But if you were eating whole fat stuff, you just wouldn't want as much. So it would be healthier. So shout out to all the people out there who are drinking their whole milk, eating their whole milk yogurt, eating their whole milk cottage cheese, all that stuff. And reverse shout out to all the people who are eating reduced fat versions of things, because they are taste way worse.
How does a reverse shout out work?
It's like if you can't hear, no. Well, just real quick. Evan is over by the fridge, deflaming his mouth. So he asked, "How's a reverse shout out work?" A reverse shout out is very simple. It's like a shout out, just the opposite. So it's like a bad version of a shout out.
Oh, like you're like.
It's like reverse shout out Ted Bundy, reverse shout out Jeffrey Dahmer, reverse shout out Adolf Hitler, reverse shout out.
Critique.
It's more than a critique. A critique, yeah. I don't feel great about Adolf Hitler's actions. I mean, it could have been a little more diplomatic. It's more than a critique. It's a little stronger than critique, but I see where you're going with that. It's not a good thing. So if you get a reverse shout out from anybody, it's either A, meaningless because they don't know what a reverse shout out is, or B, bad because they know what a reverse shout out is, and a reverse shout out is bad for you. Okay. So, or good if you don't like that person anyway, and they give you a reverse shout out.
So it's like if Hitler gave you a reverse shout out, you'd be like,
thing.
well, guys, that guy's opinion's not the best.
Right,
so
exactly.
So maybe that's a good thing that he's giving a reverse shout out.
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I guess that brings us to the next point. Are we a crunchy or creamy peanut butter clan here?
I'm more creamy. Generally speaking, with peanut butter jelly, I'm a creamy guy.
Okay.
If I'm feeling like a little spicy, a little salty, a little on the edge of life, feeling like I don't know where my life's going, a little heroin addict type of guy, then I'll go with some peanut butter and crunch peanut butter.
All right. Well, I don't need to be on heroin to have crunchy peanut butter. I'm always a crunchy peanut butter guy, like 100% of the time. And I get the crunches. I would go for super crunchy.
So that means you haven't had heroin.
No, it has not been necessary for me to have heroin to have crunchy peanut butter.
Wow.
To enjoy it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm a crunchy peanut butter guy through and through. Hey, Noah, can you get your phone, please?
Yes.
All right. We had to almost replace him with Luna.
Luna, what do you think of this?
Luna, what do you think? Crunchy peanut butter through and through. I'm ideally super crunchy. Unless you're looking at prompts for this podcast.
Yes, I am, Tommy. Look at that. I have a Google Docs titled podcast.
Wow, that's a lot of prompts.
That's a lot of prompts. No, we only have like 54 minutes.
It's a lot of.
Oh, real quick. For a word from our sponsor, H&M. Only the best shop at H&M.
And that's us.
And that's us.
We're shopping at your store.
We're shopping at your store. We know that you didn't quite give us permission to do this live read, but you know what? We think it'll help you guys. We have a lot of subscribers and listeners out there who have had entirely positive feedback to us. Not one negative review.
Not one review. Negative.
0 reviews. 0 reviews 1 star. 0 reviews 2 star. 0 reviews 3 star.
And that's all we need to say.
Exactly. And the rest reviews were 4 and 5 star.
All of them.
All of them. All the reviews were 4 or 5 star. And the ones who were 4 star were still like pretty much wrong. Because they should have been 5 star.
They accidentally clicked 4.
Yeah, exactly. It's so close to 5. They do that these days where they just like scrunch them together trying to save space because it's the 21st century, millennials, you know.
And while we're on the topic, let's go ahead and ask our listeners and subscribers.
Yeah.
Go ahead and like give us an opinion of what you think of our show. And we know like deep down you're going to tell the truth. But if you accidentally hit one that's wrong, like not a 5, feel free to fix it because we know that people make mistakes.
Yeah.
People are wrong sometimes. So if you hit something other than 4 or 5, please hit 5.
Exactly. And they make it really hard to undo your reviews. So just, go to the little part where it has the 3 dots, which means options. Click on that, and then the 5th one down will say undo mistake review. Just hit that, and then you'll have the option to pick 5 star or 5 star. And just click on the 5 star for us. That would be incredible. And while you're at it, hit up H&M. They're having free shipping on orders over $40 and about 70% off. They're still in their July 4th sale. It's big for them. Visit hm.com and type in the promo code THEPODCAST.
Or I just have something to say. If you can't if you can't go back and change the 5 to a 5-star, I mean, what you could do is just delete your account.
Yeah.
And make a new account.
Just go ahead and delete your account, make a new account, apologize, send us an apology letter with some money in it, and then we'll be all good.
We'll provide the envelopes. Go ahead, Noah. Do you have more?
No, I think Evan just.
Yeah, delete the account. Just yeah. Noah, you might have hit some prompts there. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I have a problem with people who go to a car dealership and buy white Explorers.
Okay, no, you don't. You don't have a problem with that. I originally had a problem with this. All right.
Well, it doesn't mean I can't have a problem with it too.
Okay, let me just explain it though, because actually, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead, guys. Go
All right.
ahead.
So you know how you're driving down the interstate or the highway or whatever, and coming in the opposite direction is a white SUV-ish size vehicle. It's white. It has black roof rack, and it has black kind of trim, and it looks just like a cop car. And you instinctively slow down. Shoot! I just shot a Nerf gun.
Pardon the pun.
What?
You said shoot.
You said Nerf gun.
Oh, that's awkward. And you see these cars coming, and they look just like police cars, and you slow down, and they're not police cars, and then you have to speed all the way back up. And who are these people who are driving these cars that look just like cop cars? They look just like cop cars when you come in the opposite direction, and you're like on your state. And I broke it down into 2 categories. And I think these are the only 2 reasons, and you guys can fill me in on this too. What are the reasons that you would buy a car that looked just like a cop car? And I mean, I'm talking about like the SUVs, a Ford Explorer type. Google Ford Explorer, white Ford Explorer with roof rack.
Oh, I thought you were saying that there's a car called Google Ford Explorer.
No. If you have access to your phone right now, Google Ford Explorer, white with roof rack. And it looks just like a cop car, especially from the front, especially on the highway and when it's in the distance. And you slow down. So these people are either negligent, like they're not even thinking about how it could look like a cop car, so they've never experienced it before, or they actually want a car that looks like a cop car, which is super annoying.
It is not very cool.
It's not very cool.
Yeah.
So out there, if you're searching for a car and you're going to SUV territory, and you're looking at a white one and you're looking at a roof rack, stop, and do the opposite of all those things.
Don't get white. Don't get roof rack.
Yeah.
Maybe change your lifestyle.
Yep. Change your lifestyle while you're
Think
at
about why you need a white car with a roof rack.
it. Yep.
Maybe you
Yeah.
have kids. Maybe you shouldn't have kids.
Do a deep analysis. Talk to us. Call in. We'll be setting up a little system here where we can take in calls pretty soon.
Give you some marriage counseling.
So I say it's a good time to give a little shout out to Chrysler for making some good minivans to all around kids, so you can avoid the white cars.
You do not need a Ford Explorer. Get a minivan.
Yeah.
All right. So clearly, I could use a car. I guess Chrysler, hit us up. We're super into people not buying cars that aren't yours. I think when it's all said and done, we'll be like, oh yeah, what are we worrying about? It's all gonna be fine. I think that's what I think. It all works itself out.
I think that's a good place to end on.
I think so.
Some nice, wishy gushy,
Yeah.
feeling fine about yourself type
Yeah.
of stuff. So
Everything will be okay.
everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's gonna be okay.
That's the name of the podcast. Wait, what are we called?
Everything will be okay. I actually kind of like that. We'll have to. Oh, nice. We have a little jazz to play us out. I like the idea. Everything will be okay. We'll talk about that next time. You guys give us a little feedback. What do you think? The podcast or everything will be okay? Those 2 names, I really like them. That's it for Evan, Thomas.
This is Evan signing out, I guess. But we've got other people coming to sign out too, so wait for them, please.
Thomas.
Noah.
And thank you for listening. That's been an edition of The Podcast.
Or the other one.
Or the other one. Or the other name.
The pipe.
This is a great ending. The what?